Hello, it's Warren Huart here. Hope you're doing marvelously well. So, as some of you know if you've been watching the videos, I write a lot of tracks on iMachine, on my iPhone and my iPad. And I recently discovered, thank you to these good fellows of Open Labs, this software called Stagelight. Now, here I have a tablet. I was going to say an iPad, but for all of those Android users, they'd be upset at me. It's a tablet. And Stagelight is free, which I like a lot, because that means it doesn't cost me anything. It's a freemium thing, so it means if you want to expand and buy more drums and bass sounds and all that kind of stuff, you can. But I can, if I just go new song here, I have a pad here. Now, what's great, they've had this for a little bit of time. I just recently discovered it. So for those of you that don't know about it, please go to the link below so you can download it for free. But what I like about it is it's like iMachine. I can sit there, I can write in my parts in the same way. So I can put in kicks, you know, I can put in a snare here and here and here and here, and we can press play. Up against the mic. Okay, so all of that's fun. It's really cool. Well, you know what the coolest thing is? Is they decided to make a Apple version, a Mac version. So not only can we use it on the iPad, which is really awesome, and I can sit here and program exactly the same way. Not exactly the same way, but program like I would on iMachine, which means I could have this on an Android phone, I can have this on a tablet, but I can also do it on my Mac. So let us try it out on here. So I'm going to launch, and we're going to mess around with it. Great, so here we are. I'm literally brand new to this, so you're going to have to work with me on this. But what is cool about it is these things are completely integrated, and I'll show you afterwards how you can transfer files and how easy it is. And that's kind of a big deal for me. I do like my iMachine. It's kind of fun. It's good on the plane if I'm traveling to write stuff. This does the same thing for me. I can do it on a tablet, I can do it on a phone, etc. All really, really good. But I do personally spend most of my life on Mac and Apple products. So it's great having, you know, tablets, because the great thing about tablets is, of course, the ones that aren't Apple ones are a lot cheaper. Now this one's a really nice one, but you can get really inexpensive tablets, a fraction of the cost of Apple products. Don't get me wrong, I like my Apple products. So what excited me is that they made this for us, for those of us that do use Apple products. So if I create a new song, again, exactly the same thing. Now I can use my QWERTY keyboard to play. Now for those of you that are a lot smarter than me, which is probably pretty much all of you, apparently the white keys are a cross, and that gives you the white keys, and then the black keys are above it. So it's so what it does is it triggers the kick, snare top. Well, it's two snares. I'm about to say snare top, snare bottom, but it's two different snare sounds. We'll just turn it up a little bit there so I can hear it better. So here's your kick. Here's the first snare. Here's the second snare. So I can do the same kind of thing. Bear with me because I'm learning this as we go. We can, okay, so we hit this control here. You've got, so this is this arrow here. If we hit the arrow over here, we can set up the tempo. This is the grid option. It's snapped to grid on 16th notes at the moment. We could go to 8th and make it really idiot-proof for a guy like me. And we've got a metronome, which is on during record. It's got a swing function here if we want to make it groove a little bit. Freeze all the tracks. I'm just going to keep this. There's a key lock. Now, the key lock thing I really like. Now, what that means is you can really simply just write a song. You can sit there and you can play the groove in just using your keyboard, using a pad if you're on a tablet, whatever it is. And when you go to the key lock, it makes it so that I can play a bass line. If I hit a bum note, it isn't going to trigger. It's only going to play the notes that are within that key. So for a guy like me, and you're on the go and you're working really quickly, it makes your life really easy. The whole point of these kind of devices, for those of us that already use DAWs, those that are on Pro Tools or Reaper or Studio One, a lot of guys that I work with are Studio One fans and everything. The whole point of this kind of stuff for me is creativity. You know what I'm all about. I'm all about creativity as king. So to have a device like this that I can take with a tablet or on my phone and then be able to talk with an Android product to an Apple product is a big freaking deal. It's a big deal for me because I can work anywhere and create ideas. And a lot of the songs that I have shown you, I have simple drum beats in their stuff, I wrote sitting on a plane. I mean, if you open up my iPhone, for instance, it's covered in little ideas that I've sung in there and I've done on the plane because I love putting earbuds in and just getting lost in my own world, which is all of us. That's the creative mind. We love doing that. So, to make it idiot-proof, I can do a key lock and I'll select key of C. Hey, why not? And the mode, I can keep it major, or I can do all of these different modes. Pentatonic, 5-note scale blues, which would be A, C, D, E, G, A. That would be our 5 notes within the, that would be a minor over a major in C. So really, really straightforward. So look, let's just record. I mean, I'm just making it as I go. All right. I mean, let's go to the cabasa. Now what could be interesting, because I'm in 8ths, let's go to 16ths and get that shaker. Okay, so I just made a mistake on the snare because I moved and slipped over. So let's just try this. Click it, gone. And unlike Pro Tools, the next bar it plays, it removes my mistake. Let me go back to the shaker. Put one in here, put one in here. I love the combination of being able to play it and then write into it. So much more creative than me go boom, chair, boom, boom, chair. Because when I get on the drum kit, I'm like kick, snare, a kick, kick, snare, a kick, snare, a pat, boom, Debbie boom. I mean, I'm sort of stuck there. The first time I messed around with this was earlier today. This is all new to me. I'm learning it. I'm loving it. And the first time I messed around with it, I came up with a really cool beat that I would never have come up with if I tried to play it myself. So there it is. So there's like a, so there's my first thing. I ain't no genius on this stuff, as you can tell. I'm just like the rest of us. Okay, I like that. Simple, spacebar, start and stop. All right, so let's move on and put down the bass line. The first things first, let's call it something. Warren Song 1. Wow, I'm so inventive. Okay, so Warren Song 1. We'll close out of that window. Now these here are like sections. So I've got like 4 sections, so I could have 4 different grooves. The one thing that's kind of cool is I can go here. Yeah, let's get out of there. It's pretty awesome. It's really, really cool. I love working like this. It's so much more creative than trying to copy and paste things in Pro Tools. As much as I like working in Pro Tools or any other DAW, it's just really awesome. So if I add a track, see, I can add an audio track, an instrument track, or a drum track. So let's go there. Okay, great, I can choose an instrument. So let's go bass. And I've got electro bass. These are all the free sounds that come with it. Nope, let's go this way. I think I'll go with that. Oh, look at all those different sounds. So now underneath that, so wait there, if I go back to electro bass, I've got fingered bass, electric basses, default, pick muted. You know what? Let's go to electro synth. I don't know what. Yellow jacket. I love the fact that it auditions straight away and I don't have to press another button. Down, 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 and it pink wind. It's kind of fun. All right, I'm gonna go right to it. Big bottom. Big bottom, talk about my flat. Anyway, I'll put that reference in, see how many of you know what that was. I know quite a few of my audience will know exactly what that was. So just some really cool sounds. They have tons and tons of sounds which you can buy on top and are relatively inexpensive. I talked to somebody today who told me that the next expansion pack up is $9.99 permanently forever. You buy that and you get a ton of options. So everything about this is, if you do want to spend money and you don't just want to make it for free, everything about this is super cheap. This is kind of the big leveler. They're trying to build something here that all of us can get. All right, I like that. That's cool. So I'm going to hit add. Oh, okay, cool. So look, I've got a filter here. I can select the frequency. I can, you know, really go in there and just make it, wow, you can go down to 20 hertz. So I can wipe out everything, say, let's do this, everything below 200. Okay, voices. Oh, so that's other options. I can buy stuff, LFO, filter, is there effects? All right, cool. So now it's locked. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do. Okay, I'm going to come up a little bit on the frequency, so you can manually grab it like that. So that's a pretty low octave. I like the fact I got the envelope there. So it's a really slow attack. So the fastest attack's down here. Let's talk about ADSR, just because it's a fun little sign line. I think it's worth knowing because it's the attack, the decay, the sustain, and the release. So for those of you that don't understand what that is, that's like that initial pluck of a string, the attack, that pang. Then there's always a sharp decay after that. Then there's the sustain, which is kind of where the note, the sound of the note stays fairly level. That's your sustain, and then there's a drop-off point, which is like a release. So you'll see it in most waveforms, kind of a peak, sharp decay. It sort of stays somewhere about here, a sustain part, and then it just releases and goes. So why is that important to know? Well, if you understand what it is, you can shape synth sounds, obviously. That's your fastest attack. Here's your slowest. Okay, so that's interesting to know. But you know what's really cool about it? Is you can understand how to use a compressor. Because it's the attack and the release settings on a compressor. A lot of people don't understand how compressors work. Now you do. Now basically apply that logic to it, because how soon does the compressor start? So like you hit a snare drum, or in this instance, a keyboard sound, when does it come in? Do you have it so that you set like a super fast attack time, so it just allows a nanosecond? Or do you let a piece of it come through? You can really shape the attack of a snare drum by getting it so it's just, you hear pa, 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 just the front part of the snare. So playing with these kind of tools, I mean, the fact that we've got a free software here, a free DAW essentially, that allows us this kind of, even just for free, this kind of flexibility is awesome. Now, I know there's lots of really great stuff out there and everybody's gonna have an opinion, but for my mind, this is pretty awesome. Okay, so here we go. Now, the octave's super low here. So we hit the Z button, goes even lower. So let's hit the X button here. There we go. So let's do something really silly like that. Cool, so let's try the bass line. Just crank. Here's the volume with the metronome. Then I can pretty straightforward. So now I'm going to click on that. Hey, there it is. Now I'm looking at it. Hit the grid there as 16th notes, quantize. Check over here. Time signature, grid size, 16th notes, yes. The key lock is on, so, you know, I was playing C, E, and G, so I don't think I could do much wrong, but you never know. So let's have a listen. It looks like it has self-quantized it because the quantizer was on. So let's adjust the loop. So it's on the bar there. Okay, so here we have a bar. 4 bars. Do that. Cool. It's a hit. Okay, so we'll go back, close out this window, press play. Great. Okay, so really straightforward. Okay, next, let's add a track. Let's add another instrument track. I have no idea what the guitar sounds are going to be like, so. It's actually kind of cool. When I was a kid, these were like the sounds that cost like $10,000 to purchase. It's pretty funny now. This is all just available. Banjo. Okay, nylon strings. All right, taliwah. Taliwah again. This one looks like it's more in depth. You know what? I'm going to go back to default sound and have a listen. That's kind of cool for me. Okay, so we'll add that. We'll leave the frequency as it is. Oh, there's a pitch there and an attack and release. Nice. I'm just going to do a really, really simple idea here. So off we go. Cool. Okay, so quite straightforward. So I think we'll just do this. So it's just a bar. Sorry. So it's going to be 4 bars. Very simple. Very straightforward. Okay, let's go back, close out this window. I'm learning this as you go. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward to use. Oh, I see. Solo. Mute. Cool. All right, I'm going to add a track. Let's see what else we got going on. Instrument track. Let's try some synths here. Very similar standard kind of sounds to iMachine. Maybe a little bit more. When I downloaded it on my cell phone, I didn't get as many sounds, so I think this is more sounds than they give it. But again, the beauty is that this will work on the Mac and my tablet, etc. Right, I'm going to go to electro. Clavinet. Now imagine if I was a really great keyboard player, what fun things we could have done here. But I'm not, I'm just a dumb guitarist. So this is what dumb guitarists do. All right. I'm gonna have some fun. So you've got the volume control here, so that's kind of nice. Here's my sound control here. Oh, I can page through it here. Piano light. So I can page left and right through the sounds. Okay, so I'm going to choose Secret. Let's see what else we got. After Dark. Nice. There's some silliness. I kind of like that because it's kind of 8-bit. I just did a theme tune for, I can't say who it was, but for a channel, a TV channel. And we added some real kind of 8-bit crazy sounds. So you can get into that quite a lot. So again, pitch, modulation, ADSR, EQ curves, everything ready to go. It looks like if we go over here, it says show parameters. There's like, look, there's a bit crusher here. Look at that. So on those parameters, look how many things I can do to it. Pretty awesome. I can really mess with these sounds. For those of you that are smarter than me, which is probably every single one of you, and those of you who are really into this stuff, look how much we can do. I really love that. Delay feedback. Delay percentage up here. Awesome. Delay panning, delay cutoff, delay gain. There's so much cool stuff I can do here. Got a chorus here. It's pretty awesome, very powerful. Pretty awesome, powerful stuff. And what I really want you guys to do is download this for free and play with it and tell me stuff and have a conversation about this, because this is really awesome. Like, you know, I'm scratching the surface. I'm a dumb guitar player who just programs beats and stuff like that so I can write songs on it. But there's so much cool stuff. All right, so let's go back and take some of this crazy chorus and this LFO stuff I was doing off, because wow, I've knocked it so out of tune now that it's completely and utterly unusable in the track. But hey, it's what creativity does, isn't it? So we're going to move away from that. I'm going to admit defeat and say that really wasn't the best sound. It probably would have been a good sound for a different song, but that's kind of cool. That could do with a little bit of chorus delays, delay, percentages. Nice. this. Okay, cool. So now I can click on this. I can make this, so it's like 6 bars. Let's just go in and trim it down. I only need that section. You know what? Let's highlight that. So we're going to stay in 16ths. Quantize on record. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, cool. Let's see what's going on. See, now I've zoomed in quite a lot. I can trim all the notes as you normally would. Oh. I can add a note. Ah, there it is. I'm learning how to do this as you go. Drag it, so I can drag it and I can lengthen it like that. So it looks like when I'm on this tool, it's a trim tool. Any ideas? It says trim, but there it is. Okay, so I see. Alright, so it's snapped to grid. I can trim it. So all I'm using is my pad here and one finger. I'm making this up as I go, just kind of learning. It's really kind of cool and easy. Alright, so I've just created like a silly kind of loop there. Let's have a listen. Alright, so there's my super quick overview. Everything I've done there, I could probably do quicker on the pad because it's finger related, but here I'm learning how to use the keys. I'm doing it and learning it in front of you because I think it's important to kind of go through that process. Here, as you can tell, you know, when I did this, you know, it was like 2 seconds ago, earlier, sorry. Let me look. I can do this thing where I drag and it falls on. Look at this. Pretty awesome. So I play that note there and then I can drag and it will put it musically. It's a joke. Here for the little speakers. These speakers to this little tiny microphone here. But look, see how easy it is to use something on a tablet? All right, so we'll just take this beat that we just did on here. We'll hit the transfer button, which is that little 3, and then hit transfer song. Save song, Warren, Plapp. Save. Searching for devices, Warren's Air, just that one. Hit it, hit transfer. Song transfer received. You just received this song, Warren Plapp. Okay. Through the interwebs. It just flew all around the world. Through the Wi-Fi, all the way around the world, back again and traveled 6 feet. Bing, bing. Pretty amazing. It seems like an episode of Big Bang Theory. Wasn't that an episode where they had to turn the lights on or something? And you sent it through a GPS, like satellite, all the way around the world, came back and turned the light on. I can't remember. And they're like, yay! And of course the girl comes in and goes, why don't you just go and do that? So anyway, but this is better still. Look, I love lots of other little devices and I've used them all over the years. But one of the problems is that without this kind of technology, and I know this is quite straightforward, but straightforward is always the best technology. I have to take my iPhone and I have to plug it into my computer and I have to transfer the files to the iTunes and I have to drag them and drop them out. If I'm not working on this computer and I'm working on this computer here, I then transfer in here and I put a USB drive in, I transfer the files over and I walk up to this computer and I plug in the USB drive and then I drag the files out and I put it in. Okay, that's probably only 2 or 3 minutes, but that's 2 or 3 seconds. So, awesome idea, like it. I'm scratching the surface. This is the first day I've been using this. I like this. I like the idea of it. You know me, creativity is king and also value for money. And what's better than free? What's better than nada? Nothing. Absolutely free. Go and sign up for it. Go to the link below and try it out. And give me your opinion because we're going to talk about this and we'll see if we can come up with some song ideas. I like free stuff. I like what these guys are doing and I like the fact that they're championing creativity. And if you do want to spend some money, you can buy really cheap packs to get tons and tons of stuff, which I will start exploring. But I haven't spent any money yet, so we're still working in the world of free. So thank you ever so much. Download it, try it out, see what you think of it. Let me know. I really appreciate your time. You guys and girls rock. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing, and have a marvelous time being creative. It'd be really fun for you to take some of this stuff and then dump them into sessions, and like, especially if you're like me and you're a guitar player or whatever, build a basic kind of kick snare, whatever, basic idea of a track and then write to it, because that's what I do all the time. I build stuff like this and I write to it afterwards. Thank you ever so much. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. I'll see you again soon.